A very good afternoon to all of you. First of all, let me thank all the three organizations, GITO as well as all other organizations, for providing me this opportunity to interact with the students on this very important topic of career counseling, career choice. And fortunately, I'm going to discuss about the professional courses. I was very keenly listening to Parag Bhai, and he talked about number of aspects like, regarding this college, you may get admission into one college, you might not get admission into another college, and so many things. But fortunately, the courses which have been assigned to me, on which I'm going to speak, there is no issue as such. The entire globe is open. You can join these courses from any part of the nation, or rather any part of the country of the globe. And the best part is there is no percentage criteria. So there is no question of taking admission or not. Once you have cleared your 12th, all these courses are open to you. You can join them any point of time. So I'm going to discuss with you about CA, CS, CMA, ACCA, CPA, and CFA. These are the 6 courses which have been assigned to me and very rightly selected by all these 3 organizations, because these are the courses in which, these are the professional courses in which most of the commerce students take interest. There are a number of professional courses, but out of them, these 6 are definitely, more prominent courses. Like these have been the choices of Indian students. So rather than immediately starting with the technical details, I'll take up a few points, because these are the issues which arise in the minds of the students every now and then. The first one is whether I should do any of these courses, maybe CA or maybe CMA or maybe whatever, after 12th or after BCom. Well, friends, I cannot tell you whether you should do CS, that is company secretaryship, or you should do CA, that is chartered accountancy. I cannot tell you whether you should do ACCA or CPA. That is your choice. I'll give the details of that. But one thing is for sure, that if you have to do it, and if you are getting an opportunity, then you should do it immediately after 12th. You should not wait for graduation. You should utilize 3 precious years for these professional courses, and along with that, your graduation very smoothly you can pursue. So first point is very clear, because what happens, many times you are not having the knowledge of these courses, and unfortunately, some person guide us, no, you first complete your graduation. Gujarati mein jo apne baat kare to pehla payo pako karo. I think there is nothing like payo pako karo or something like that. You should better start any of these courses at the earliest moment. If it is available after 12th, immediately you should take it after 12th. The second question that many times comes, I'm talking about all these courses common, all these courses. The second is, some 12th student asking me, sir, I have only 55% in 12th. What should I do? So friends, let me tell you, 55% does not prohibit you. Even 45% does not prohibit you from joining any of these courses. These courses do not require any percentage in 12th. These courses do not require any percentage in 12th. That is a good aspect. What is required is the commitment. If you are a very committed person, if you are very passionate about it, you can pursue these courses. The third question would be, my percentage is 95. What should I do? So here also, one interesting thing is that I've been dealing with these courses for so many years, almost 3 decades. And I tell you, I've come across so many students who have got 90% and they did not succeed in these courses. As against that, I've seen many students who have got only 50 or 60%, but they have succeeded. So it is not very right to say that your percentage or performance in your school is going to determine your success in these courses. Parag Bhai very rightly saying that it is about skill set. It is about skill set. So I would also add here that it's about the attitude, the passion with which you are going to do that, your mindset, which is going to matter more rather than percentage. So I would put it this way, put aside your 12th standard percentage. It was fine up to 12th. Now in your real life, in practical life, it does not work on percentage. So these courses may be done irrespective of the fact you have got 50% or 90%. Another very crucial thing that comes up is that I am a Gujarati medium student. Is it possible for me to do this? I topic को जरा गुजराती में ले लो कि एक सवाल एवो आवे कि હું ગુજરાતી માધ્યમનો છું, મારાથી થાય કે मैं हिंदी मीडियम का हूं, मुझसे होगा क्या? So friends, let me tell you one thing, there is no bar. आप गुजराती मीडियम के हैं या हिंदी मीडियम के आपके मन में है, वो रियलिटी नहीं है. Learning English is very simple, and I'm very sure once you join any of these courses, within 1 or 2 months, within only 1 or 2 months, you'll be capable of handling these courses. So put aside, મગજમાંથી કાઢી નાખો કે હું ગુજરાતી મીડિયમનો છું કે હિન્દી મીડિયમનો છું. Friends, when you are using WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram, then you don't think about English medium or Gujarati medium. You are very comfortable with that. When you watch the cricket commentary, which is in English, then you are very comfortable. There, Gujarati medium does not come up. Even when you watch the Filmfare Award, at that time also the person is speaking in English, and you understand. It is only when it comes to education. Many of your relatives would say, no, tu to Gujarati medium no che, tu atyar nahi kar. Friends, I very sincerely urge, this is a very crucial question. I think this is the question which is asked by most of the people. Put aside your medium. Your medium does not affect choice of these courses. Another beautiful thing about these courses is, one question people ask, kahan se karu? Should I do it from Ahmedabad? Should I do it from Aurangabad? Should I do it from Amritsar? Should I do it from where? So the good answer is that all these 6 courses are centralized. You may do any of these courses, CA, CMA, CS, whatever course you select, they are all centralized courses, and hence, whether you do it from Mumbai or you do it from Ahmedabad or Baroda does not make any difference. The qualification you get is the same. So that is the best part about these courses. They are centralized courses. કેન્દ્રીયકરણ છે, તમે ક્યાંથી પણ કરો, કશેથી પણ કરો, એની કિંમત, એનું મહત્વ સરખું છે. Then comes the issue, which of these courses are global? So friends, let me tell you, all these 6 courses are very much global. Whether you take up CPA, or you take up ACCA, or you take up CIMA, or you take up CMA, or you take up CA, whatever courses you select, these courses are the courses about knowledge and skills. The subjects that you learn and the intensity is so high that the knowledge you acquire is up to such a mark that you go across the globe in any part of the world, and you will be acceptable. So all these courses are global. Next is, another question comes, and the general question is, should I do my first qualification in India or should I go abroad? I think the same was the question asked to Parag Bhai also, and I agree with him that the first qualification, it is preferred if it is done in India, and the second might be taken abroad. The reason being, once you take up the first qualification in India, you will reach up to a particular level that you will end up with some top B schools or whatever, other institutes abroad. And another very crucial question that comes up, I'll take up the questions later on. Now let me first go into the details of these various courses. Let me start with CA, Chartered Accountancy. This is the course which is most popular across Gujarat and Rajasthan. And friends, it is interesting to note that across the country, there are around 3 lakh chartered accountants. And out of these 3 lakh chartered accountants, I can say that almost two-thirds chartered accountants are originating from the state of Gujarat and Rajasthan. The reason is very simple. These are the states with business mindset. These are the states with entrepreneurial framework, and hence their first choice naturally becomes chartered accountancy. So if we talk about chartered accountancy, it is divided into 3 stages. Now, while I'll be talking to you about chartered accountancy, there are similar stages in CS also and ICW also. So I'll take up all these 3 together. If you are pursuing chartered accountancy, you can immediately give the exams. First level of chartered accountancy after 12th standard. And similar is the case with ICWA, that is CMA and CS. Stage 1 is known as CA Foundation. Similarly, in CMA, it is known as CMA Foundation. Stage 2, it is known as Intermediate. Similarly, in CMA, it is known as Intermediate. Third stage is known as Final. Same is with CMA. So virtually, there are 3 stages in CA, there are 3 stages in CS, there are 3 stages in CMA. They nearly go parallel. And all these 3 courses have been established by the Act of Parliament. So friends, kindly understand, these are not associations. These are not, some universities. These are the institutes, which are particularly enacted by the Act of Parliament. The Parliament, Indian Parliament in the year 1949, immediately after the independence, before coming out with the Indian Constitution, that is of course 1950, in 1949 itself, it felt that if business has to be strengthened, then you have to come up with various institutes of professional knowledge. And that's why they come up with the Chartered Accountants Act 1949, under which the institute was formed. Similarly, the CMA Institute has also been formed, and CS Institute also has been formed. So all these three are by the Act of Parliament, and because they are by the Act of the Parliament, and you can understand these institutes have no profit motive, the cost of these courses are bottom. These are the cheapest courses you can find across the globe. Now, how do we differentiate CA, CMA, and CFA? So, chartered accountants is more about business management. It is more about taxation. It is about audit. So, it is more about the business consultancy as such. You can understand whenever a businessman has any issue related to business, of course, if it is related to company law, he will go to a company secretary. He will go to a company secretary. For that, their course is CS. But for other matters like income tax, like GST, like audit, like accounting, like finance, all these things, he would go to a chartered accountant. So chartered accountancy is more related to business. When we talk about CMA, CMA is more about cost audit and cost accounting. So it is particularly for some manufacturing units, and maybe of course now the service sector also, where the issue of costing comes up, cost accounting or the cost audit comes up. Then you have the concept of CMA, a company secretary. If you look at the name nomenclature, company secretary. So it is more about the secretarial job. It is more about the compliance procedure. You know that Companies Act 2013 provides for all the provisions related to Indian companies, and there are a number of formalities, there are a number of procedures which a company has to go through in the lifetime and every year. All these compliances are done through a company secretary. Many of the company secretaries are also providing the services of management consultancy. So this is something common about CA, CS, and CMA. They all have 3 stages, and in all these 3 courses, there is something called practical training. In all the 3 courses, there is something called practical training. In CA, it is known as articleship. Similar case, a CMA and CS also. Like there is an articleship of 3 years in chartered accountancy. Similarly, there is 3 years articleship in CMA. The only difference is that in CA, articleship of 3 years, you have to continue along with your course, while in CMA, you may choose that you only want to do 6 months prior to completing CMA, and the rest 2.5 years, you can complete even after passing the exams. So these are some common features about CA, CMA, and CS. Now let me come to CPA. Acha, before that, let me talk about the number of papers. In CA, you have total 20 papers divided into 3 stages. First stage is CA Foundation, where you have 4 papers. That is immediately after your 12th. Second stage is intermediate. For that, you have 8 papers. You can give 4 papers at a time. Exams are conducted 6 monthly. Every 6 months, May and November, CA exams are there. For intermediate, you may choose to give all the 8 papers together, or you may choose to give 4 papers at a time. Passing mark is 40 per subject. Passing mark per subject, it is 40. If you get less than 40, then you fail in that subject. And the overall aggregate percentage required is 50%. 50% is required overall aggregate, while per subject it is 40 marks. So 4 subjects in foundation, 8 subjects in intermediate, and 8 papers in final. So total 20 papers in chartered accountancy. Similarly, if you look at CMA, virtually the same, 3 stages, 4 subjects at the foundation level, 8 subjects at the intermediate level, and 8 subjects at the final level. These 8 subjects are divided into 2 groups, 4 subjects each. So that means you can give 4 subjects at a time, or you may choose to give 8 subjects at a time, depending upon what is convenient to you. And ICW exams and CMA exams happen every year in June and December. While CA is in May and November, CMA is June and December. Otherwise, virtually the same. 20 papers, 4 papers in the first stage, 8 in the second stage, and 8 papers in the final stage for CA as well as CMA. CS is also more or less similar. In the first stage, you have 4 papers. Second stage consists of 8 papers, once again divided into 2 parts. That is 4 plus 4, as the case in CA or CMA. In final, in CMA, instead of 8, there are 9 papers. In CA and CMA, you have 8 papers divided into 2 parts, 4 into 2, 8. While in CS, it is 9 papers divided into 3 parts, 3 into 3, 9. So more or less, for the sake of simplicity, I don't want you to be in too much of procedures. I'm going to talk to you more about the conceptual part. You know, procedures and all these things, you can easily go to their websites. Every detail is available on the website. Google is very easy, easy access for all these courses. What I'm trying to tell you is, whether you take up CA or CS or CMA, nearly your cost is the same. All the three institutes promoted by the Indian Parliament, all the three have very good value for Indian industry, Indian commerce. All the three have 3 stages. All the three have similar type of exam patterns. All the three have 40% minimum subject wise and 50% group wise. So nearly the same. These three are nearly the same. Now let me come to the other courses. Now how I am differentiating these 3 courses from other 3? Well, these 3 courses are by the Indian government, Indian Parliament. Other 3 courses that we are going to discuss about, they are from institutes abroad. Let me first start with CPA, that is Certified Public Accountant. Certified Public Accountant, that is a US-based course. Now this year onwards, the exams are going to be conducted in India also. Otherwise, these exams were not being conducted in India. For the purpose of examination, you had to go to some other countries to give the exams. There were some different requirements. Now, the interesting thing about CPA is that while the exams are the same, but the requirements are different for different states in US. In US, different states have different type of requirements. Some states require minimum graduation for joining CPA. Some few states allow to join CPA even while you are pursuing your graduation. So there are different requirements. One has to go state-wise from where he is interested in doing CPA and accordingly can choose. But the exams are conducted by AICPA. That is the institute which deals with the curriculum and the examination. AICPA. There are total 4 papers only. There are only 4 papers. I repeat my point. If you do chartered accountancy in India, there are total 20 papers. If you do CMA, there are 20 papers. If you look at CS also, nearly similar number of papers. While in CPA, there are only 4 papers, only 4. And all these 4 papers are multiple choice questions, MCQ, all the 4 papers. Another interesting thing about CPA is that while we talked about CSCS, CMA, there are exams twice a year. And you have to give exam during the exam slots. In CPA, there is full flexibility. The moment you join it, they give you 18 months. Within this 18 months, you can give any 4 papers, anytime, from any center. So if you feel that on 26th June, you want to give the exams of CPA from New York, you can give the exams from New York. Suppose you feel that on 27th of August, you want to give exams in Mumbai, you can choose Mumbai center and give the exam. So CPA has too much of flexibility, only 4 papers. It is all multiple choice question. Passing mark is 75. Passing mark, they don't use the word mark, but in effect, it is 75 marks. Why I am saying 75 marks? Because they put different type of questions and on the basis of the intensity of the questions, they give the weightage. But this weightage is more or less similar to mark. Total weightage would be 100 and out of that you are secured 75. So we can say that per subject, you require 75%. That is CPA, not only 4 subjects, and you can choose any exam, any day, from any center, any subject. So this is the flexibility about CPA. CPA should be done by that person who wants to settle down in US or CPA or Canada. If you are very sure about it, that you want to make a career in US or in Canada, then well and good, you may opt for CPA. Or else, if you are joining a particular company which is subsidiary, which is situated in India, but the parent company is in US, then also CPA can be a good choice for you. But friends, I repeat, even if you have done the Indian courses like chartered accountancy or cost accountancy, they are very much valid. The knowledge of these courses is valid globally. The only difference is that they are much more rigorous. You have total 20 papers for CA or CS or something like that. Against that, in CPA, you have only 4 papers. So that is about CPA. Now let us come to CFA. CFA is Chartered Financial Analyst. CFA is Chartered Financial Analyst. There are 2 CFAs. There is one Indian CFA. These days it is not popular. A few years back, there was Indian CFA also. And I remember I gave the examination of the CFA, Indian CFA from HL College, which is one of the organizers today. I have given a number of exams in HL College. I had the luxury of being at HL also. So there was CFA India. But these days, when we talk about CFA, most of the people are talking about CFA US. which is considered to be a global one. So in CFA US, you have 3 stages. And in all the 3 stages, you have only 1 day examination. There is only 1 day examination. And most of the questions are going to be MCQs. But of course, MCQ does not mean 1 mark MCQ. Some of the questions will be dealing with the scenario study. And within the scenario, they will be asking you some questions, of course, in MCQ mode. So that is regarding CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst. These CFA exams are conducted in India. That is basically based on US qualification, but the examination can be given in India. Now, who should do CFA? The person who is very much keen to go into core finance, like maybe investment banking, maybe portfolio, maybe forex, or maybe similar such type of core financial aspect. Then a person can choose CFA. Then a person can definitely choose CFA. CFA can be joined as of now during the 3rd year of your graduation. The institute does not allow you immediately to do after 12th, but once you are in the 3rd year of graduation, you can start preparing for CFA. And the exams, as I say, the exams, first level is conducted in June and December, second level only is in June, but it's only a 1 day examination. Only 1 day, 1 paper. So total 3 papers only in CFA. So I repeat my point. If you are going with chartered accountancy, 20 papers, CMA, 20 papers cost accountancy, while in CPA, certified public accountant US, only 4 papers. CFA, chartered financial analyst, only 3 papers. Now let me come to the next one. That is ACCA.
Sir.
Yeah.
Hello. We are running short of time and we have a couple of questions also. So if you could just wrap up in 2 minutes and we can take the questions.
So fortunately, I have come to the 6th course only. That is ACCA. So it required only 2 minutes only. Fine. So I'll tell you, ACCA is based at UK, and that is also once again a global qualification. Here, in the first stage, you have 4 papers. In the second stage, you have 9 papers. And in the third stage, you have 4 papers to give. They have given you a number of options. First 2 papers are compulsory. Out of 5, you can choose any 2. There are optional papers. Similar options are available in CA also, CMA also, and CS also. So I think this is something about ACCA. If you have any questions, I would be very happy to deal with the questions.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. The first question is of that only. Someone has asked, what are the job prospects of ACCA and CPA in India?
Okay, I think a very relevant question.
Yes.
Very relevant question, because see, it is very difficult for me to tell you which course to choose, because all the 6 are wonderful courses. And interestingly, I have done all the courses because I myself was not sure what to do. And my daughter is also doing all the 6. So I'm not sure which one is a better or like that. But I can say that if you are going to make career in India, then my personal view is, this is only my personal view, that you might choose to have 1 degree first from India and then go for the foreign course. So in India, in Indian corporates, they accept CPA as well as ACCA, but only a few corporates, particularly those corporates that are the subsidiaries of US or Canada or some European nation. There the scope of ACCA or CPA would be good. But with other corporates, they prefer Indian qualifications more because they understand more of Indian concepts. At the same time, those corporates which are looking at the legal aspects as well as taxation aspect, they would not prefer ACCA or CPA because these courses do not cover law and tax to the extent it should cover.
Thank you so much, sir. Another question is, how is the placement process in CA and CS field here? What is the placement process? Yes, about the placement in CA and CS.
So regarding both the institutes, I would join CMA also. All the 3 institutes have placement cells and they conduct campus interviews minimum twice a year. Immediately after all the results, there is a campus placement and all the major cities of India are covered. The student has a choice of selecting 2 cities. So maybe a person can choose Ahmedabad and Baroda, and a number of corporates will come in the campus. On the basis of that, the person can choose the companies. Of course, the company would also choose the candidate. Other than the campus, there are a number of other initiatives. Local branches are also conducting. For instance, I am from Surat. So a person, when he completes Chartered Accounts of Surat, suppose he selects Mumbai as first choice and second choice as maybe, Delhi. After that, the third choice, The Surat branch also conducts a campus interview. So such type of campuses are conducted across the country in all the 3 institutes.
Thank you so much, sir. That was all, and we have completed the session also in time. And I think we have been enlightened with all these courses, and the students would have been benefited with this. So thank you so much for your time here. And thank you, sir, again. And now we can have the next speaker. He is already here, Satya, sir.
Thanks once again to all the 3 organizations. Thank you.
Thank you.